I'm just a regular guy, no cape or superpowers, and my name doesn't matter. For the past few years, I've been working as a security guard at the very busy Crestwood Mall, a massive shopping center that draws folks from all over town. My job is straightforward: secure the mall, make sure everyone plays nice, and most importantly, keep the peace. But one Friday evening, all that changed, and I found myself fighting for my life in the food court. The mall was buzzing with life, just like any other Friday. Families, couples, and teenagers were all out and about, looking for deals and a good time. The food court was packed with hungry folks chowing down on everything from greasy burgers to sweet, sugary treats. I leaned against a pillar, taking in the scene with a contented sigh. That evening, though, something was different. A group of teenagers walked in, not your ordinary mall goer. They had that swagger and a mean look about them, and rumors had it they were part of some local gang. Trouble was written all over their faces. As the leader of the group, a tall, menacing kid with a red bandana wrapped around his arm, sauntered into the food court, a chill ran down my spine. My instincts kicked in, and I knew I had to step in before things went south. I approached the gang, my security badge gleaming under the harsh mall lights. "Hey, folks, let's keep it peaceful here," I said, trying to sound firm but not confrontational. My hope was that words would diffuse the tension, but their eyes told a different story. The gang leader scoffed at me, his friends gathering around him like a pack of hyenas. "You ain't the boss of us, old man," he sneered, his voice dripping with disdain. The tension in the air was thick enough to cut with a knife, and I knew I had a tough situation on my hands. I took another step forward, trying to assert my authority without making things worse. But it was a lost cause. Tempers flared, and the food court turned into a battlefield. Tables crashed, chairs flew, and innocent folks scattered in terror. I had to do something. Desperation gripped me as I tried to restrain one of the teenagers, a wiry kid who was surprisingly strong. My arms strained, but I held on, determined to prevent further chaos. My duty was clear: protect the mall and its patrons, no matter what. But in the midst of the chaos, one of the gang members made a deadly move. He pulled out a gleaming knife from his pocket, and the metallic glint sent shockwaves through the crowd. Panic swept through the food court as people realized the danger we were all in. Time seemed too slow as I grappled with the teenager, my heart pounding in my chest. I did my best to keep him away from the knife-wielding gang member, but fate had a cruel twist in store for me. In a horrifying flash, the blade descended, piercing my thigh. Agony surged through me, and I staggered back, clutching the searing wound. Blood gushed from the deep puncture, staining the pristine tiles of the food court. I collapsed to the ground, pain overwhelming my senses. The world blurred, and I fought to stay conscious. Amid the chaos, someone managed to dial 911, and the distant wail of sirens grew steadily louder. Paramedics arrived, their uniforms a stark contrast to the mall's chaotic scene. They knelt beside me, their faces etched with concern. With skilled hands, they applied pressure to my wound, trying to stabilize me. The once bustling mall, a symbol of consumerism and commerce, had transformed into a crime scene. Panic and disbelief hung in the air as paramedics hurriedly prepared me for transport to Crestwood General Hospital. I had lost a dangerous amount of blood, and my life was hanging by a thread. As the ambulance raced through the city streets, my thoughts turned to my family, my wife, Sarah, and our 2 children. Their faces flashed before my eyes, and that gave me the strength to fight for survival. At the hospital, a team of doctors and nurses worked tirelessly to save my life. I woke up in a sterile hospital room with the harsh lights so bright they made me squint. Pain radiated from my leg, a constant reminder of the vicious attack in the food court. Tubes and wires seemed to be connected to every part of my body, and I felt vulnerable and disoriented. A nurse noticed my groggy awakening and rushed to my side. She had a warm smile that contrasted with the cold, sterile surroundings. "You're awake," she said with a gentle voice. "You're in the hospital. You've been through quite an ordeal." The memories of that fateful evening flooded back, and I winced as I recalled the knife piercing my leg. "The kids," I stammered. "Did anyone else get hurt?" The nurse's expression grew somber. "I'm afraid you were the only one seriously injured," she replied. "But the police are handling this situation, and your bravery helped prevent further harm." As I lay there, grateful to be alive, I couldn't help but reflect on how quickly life could take unexpected turns. My ordinary job as a mall security guard had thrust me into a life-threatening situation, but it had also shown me the strength of the human spirit and the resilience of those who stand up in the face of danger. In the days that followed, I began my long road to recovery, buoyed by the love and support of my family and friends. The scars on my leg would always serve as a reminder of that harrowing night in the food court, but they also reminded me of the unwavering courage that ordinary people can summon when faced with extraordinary circumstances. And as I looked out of the hospital window, I knew that when I returned to my post at Crestwood Mall, I would do so with even greater determination to keep the peace and protect the people who came to seek refuge in that bustling labyrinth of commerce and community.